What's going on, everybody? It's Get It Shonikin here, team lead for the show bros at Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty. If you've been checking out all the other videos, we've been talking a little bit about what needed to be done in order to purchase a home. So now we want to talk a little bit about some of the things that goes on along in the process of buying a home. So for the sake of this scenario, we are a buyer that's already found a home and put an offer in on it. So of course, each agent has their different ways in which they go about putting offers in. So I'll leave that for you to discuss with your agent, or if you don't have one, just go ahead and reach out to me and I'll get you taken care of. So we're under contract, right? And we've just signed the document. So now we've entered what's called the inspection period. On the contract that we use here in Jacksonville, the default amount of time that you have in the inspection period is 10 days. Interesting thing about the 10 days is that within that 10-day period, if there's any reason you want to walk from the transaction, you can, and you'll get your deposit back. So let's just say you're looking at a house and you're 3 days into the contract and you're realizing to yourself, hey, look, this house is too big. I don't want it. It's too much to maintain. We'll just send in the cancel of the transaction and the release of the binder, and you get your binder back and we move on to the next house. So that's something to keep in mind. But let's say in this scenario, you like the house, you want to get it inspected. So within that 10-day inspection period, you have to get the home inspected, because if you don't get it done within those 10 days, your binder is on the hook. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to just give $5,000 or $2,000 or whatever you put down to the seller. Now, depending on what type of home it is that you put an offering on and got it accepted would dictate what kind of inspector you get. Also, the loan type will kind of dictate what kind of inspections you need to get as well. So let's say you're buying a single family home and you're going VA. You're going to want to get a home inspector to come out there, and you also want to get a WDO inspection, which to make sure there's no wood rot, termites, or anything like that, because that's a VA requirement. Now, let's say you went conventional. You don't necessarily need to get a WDO inspection done. You know, your inspector can kind of point a lot of these things out, but it's always safe to go ahead and make sure that you have another set of eyes on it. In another scenario, maybe you buy a manufactured home. This manufactured home is on well and septic. You're going to want to get the home inspection done, but you're also going to want to get a water test, and you're also going to want to get the septic inspected as well. Tends to be a little bit more expensive to have more things inspected, but you want to make sure you get these things inspected because you don't want it to cost you tens of thousands of dollars later. So after you get the inspection done, you've talked with your agent about the different things that you want to have repaired. That repair list is going to get sent to the listing agent for that person to discuss with their seller. Now, this is when the negotiation happens. You know, they may not want to do all the repairs, but we want all the repairs to be done. So maybe there's certain things that are more important to get fixed than others, but these are things that we'll decide and figure out and negotiate, and hopefully we can come to terms. Let's say the septic tank needs to be replaced and the seller says they don't want to do that. Now, if we can't come to an agreement, we can still get our binder back and not have to pay any money. So let's say on the manufactured home, you put an offer in, the septic tank is bad and it needs to be replaced, but the seller says they don't want to replace it. If you can't come to an agreement, you can simply ask for the release of your binder and cancellation of the contract, and you can get that binder back and move on to the next house. You're not bound to staying with that house, even if they don't make the necessary repairs that you want. Once the repairs are agreed upon, then the seller gets those repairs done, and then you move to the next stage of the process. Now, here's a little bit of a side note. I know a lot of times when people buy new construction, they think to themselves, hey, I don't necessarily think I need to get the home inspected. Not a good idea. Even if it's new construction, you want to get the home inspected as well. There may be things they build too quick, may not build correctly, may have not done right that your inspector may be able to catch, and then you can get that stuff fixed. That way it doesn't become a problem for you later. Often I suggest people to get an inspection done before the first walkthrough. That way you have an inspection report to hand over to the builder and they can get those things fixed. Also, most builders have a 1-year home warranty. So before you reach that 12th month, I tell people to typically in the 11th month, get another inspection done. Make sure there's nothing wrong with the house. And if there's anything wrong with the house, send that stuff in and say, hey, look, you know, reaching our 1 year. These are the issues that I have. Can we get these things fixed so then I can ride off to the sunset and know I won't have any issues? Now, you don't have to get inspections on a new construction. You don't have to get inspection done on a pre-existing home. I would not suggest that. Spend the money and protect yourself, because going best case scenario is always great until it turns to the worst case scenario. But if you prepare for worst case scenario, then you're always good. Hope that information helped. If you felt that it did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well too, because we drop videos all the time about different things you need to know when it comes to purchasing a home. And let us know in the comments below if you have any questions. That way I can address those videos specifically, because if you have that question, I'm pretty sure somebody else does. Appreciate you rocking with me and making it this far in the video. Peace.